Hey y'all, so I went to visit Pure Bella Natural Salon and I went there to get my hair blowed out and trimmed. And if you haven't seen the video, be sure to check that out. Some of you all had some questions, and so in this video, my stylist Shan will be answering some of the questions that you all had, and I hope you all enjoy the video. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So I'm here with Shan, the stylist. If you've seen my previous video of my visit to the natural hair salon, which is her salon here called Pure Bella Naturals. And so I'm here today. We're doing a Q&A video, and stay tuned. So Shan, thank you for joining us, and I really appreciate it. I really enjoyed the blowout and the trim on my hair. You had my hair popping.
Alright.
And you had so many people that were just so amazed and just so happy with your knowledge, and they really, really appreciate it and have so many great things to say about you and your salon. So I first of all just wanted to start off by asking, tell us more about yourself, your story, and your journey. What inspired you to become a stylist?
So this is my 25th year being a hairstylist, licensed cosmetologist. So I'm going to definitely celebrate that. But what inspired me to be a stylist, I guess, is kind of ironic because the exact spot we're in, I used to come get my hair done here when I was 10 years old.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I would come get my hair done, and the lady that would do my hair would never let me look in the mirror. She would never tell me what she was putting on my hair, and I would constantly ask her, and she would call my mom and complain about me. So I finally saved up some coins from my allowance, and I bought a handheld mirror. So the next time I came and got my hair done, I popped out my mirror and I watched her the entire time because she would never turn me towards the mirror. So
I wonder why that was.
I don't know. That's one reason why I have a full-length mirror my clients sit in front of, because it's like you should be able to see the whole process so you can do it at home.
Right.
So it started there with me really wanting to be a stylist, and I have aunts that are hairstylists. My mom used to be the neighborhood stylist, never was licensed. So when I think the DNA is strong like that. So something is ingrained into you, and that's kind of what I enjoy doing. So what really led me to go to hair school was when my father passed away. I was 17, and so all I would do was sit at home and just do my hair, my girlfriend's hair, just play in hair all the time. So my mom encouraged me to go to hair school, or like go to school for something. Didn't really know what I wanted to do, so she told me go to school for hair. That's all you do all day.
Right.
So that's what I did, and here I am.
Wow. Well, we're so happy to have you here in Durham.
Thank you. Thank you.
So what do you suggest for those of us who have a hard time retaining moisture in our hair? Because right now my hair, it's like I put product on my hair, but it feels so dry still. And there's a lot of us still, like, we'll drink a ton of water and we still have a hard time retaining moisture or just keeping that moisture in our hair. So what is it that you recommend for those of us that just have extremely dry hair?
So it goes back to a lot of things. Like I'm not going to recommend a product, which Pure Bella Naturals would be awesome to get, but that's down the road once you get your regimen and what your hair is. So it's kind of like understanding your texture, what you're consuming, your environment, what type of water you have at home. So just to simply start out, I like to make sure everybody knows that your texture will never be the same as anybody else's. Right? Nobody has the same exact texture. We love YouTube, but what we see the ladies doing, if we can mimic the exact same thing and get totally different results. Right. So you have to remember you have your own texture and learn what to do with your hair. Yeah. So the one thing with moisture, how to retain it. So, okay, this is my 25th year doing hair, like I said. So in hair school, we didn't have the 1A, 2B, 3B, 4B, 4A, all of that. Hair was either, I'll start from the back, it was wiry, kinky, coily, tightly coily, curly, tightly curly, wavy, or straight. Or you can go forward to that. So the after the curly, you have the kinky and the coily and the wiry. So that's the 3-4 within the 3 and 4. So hair texture like yours, which is more of a coily, the pattern that it goes, the round pattern, or the closely impact. So it takes more for that molecule, the water molecules, to actually impact and get down.
Okay.
So you can use the product all day, but if that cuticle layer is not at its right position, which then you get into porosity.
Yes.
So if it's not at a regular level, which is in between low and high, then the moisture is not going to get in there. But the thing to really help the moisture penetrate is water. Like, I don't know what a lot of people's hair regimen, they may shampoo every 2 weeks. Like, what do you do?
Well, it used to be almost every weekend I would shampoo, but lately it's kind of been every 2 weeks, 2 to 3, depending on how lazy I am.
Actually, no problem. Are you co-washing in between?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the thing that will bring moisture, is co-washing with the conditioner. In the beginning, I was not a fan of co-washing. Like, I put out there on many videos, co-washing is like taking a shower with lotion. You're not cleansing your hair. But that was to people who, that's all they did was co-wash, never cleanse their scalp.
Right.
So we don't want to do that. We don't want to get into never cleansing. But if you're on a regimen, say if you're wearing a wash and go, you can do a wash and go 2 to 3 times, twice a week, to keep that moisture balanced. And you would co-wash with a conditioner. The more conditioner you use, the more drenched down it is, the more your hair is going to get susceptible to wanting that moisture and penetrating. Yeah. So I think it's the way to get moisture is putting more on your hair when it comes to water, conditioner, and doing it more frequently. So as far as wearing a wash and go, I know in my previous videos, some of my clients who are straight, well not straight, but wavy or curly, maybe even on the tightly curly stage, they can wear a wash and go about 2 weeks. But if you have hair that's coily, tightly coily, or kinky or wiry, your wash and go is going to go about 3 to 4 days, and then you're going to want to deep condition, which you can deep condition at any time. Deep condition once a week. You can never over condition.
Yeah.
And that in time will improve your moisture. If you don't have the right foundation, the moisture is not, whatever you put in here is not going to go in there. So it's basically about eating right, putting lots of water, lots of good conditioner on your hair so you can get it to that state so it can just absorb the moisture.
Okay. You know, I was thinking too, like, couldn't the water also play a role, like hard water and all of that?
Definitely.
Yeah, because I have yet to test my water, but I'm pretty sure it's hard because, like, I remember when I first moved to my apartment, like, I could just smell the chlorine in the water. I don't know if it's heavy around, like a big deal around here. But
it is. Yeah. It's water really matters because our hair has a pH level, and if we're using water where it's highly chlorinated or it's just bad water, the pH level either could be too low or it could be too high, which could actually strip our hair. It could put little holes in our hair, and then that's a high porosity hair because of course porosity is your hair's ability to absorb moisture. So if you have these little holes that has broken up your pattern of your hair, then the moisture is just going to go through. So it's definitely good to check your water. Even after if you live in an area where the water is not good, keep some distilled water and use that as your last rinse.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. I'm gonna buy me a couple things with distilled water. Because I've noticed that I'm just like, cause my hair, it behaves so much different now that I'm in a more humid climate.
Right, because you move.
Yeah. It was more dry there, which you would expect your hair to be more dry. Which it usually is, but I felt that my hair behaved a lot better there than it has here. Because the water that was out where I was living was a lot more soft.
Gotcha.
So I kind of feel like the water here is just making my hair scream. I don't know. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem.
So what blow dryer was it that you used on my hair? Some people ask that question.
Okay. So the story of a blow dryer. I have a blow dryer and a flat iron fetish. So we have a fetish. It's good to have a good one. So, but the blow dryer is a Conair bird. It's the gray bird. You can get it from Sally's, $35. I spent hundreds of dollars on a blow dryer, and this by far has been my best one.
What makes it the best one?
So when you have a blow dryer, just like a flat iron, you don't want the heat to go directly on the hair. You want it to kind of penetrate the hair from the inside out. And with all the technology they have, they've made this blow dryer to where it dries the hair from the inside out, just like some of the flat irons. So it's not just that direct, what's that old school dryer? I forgot the name of it. Just that direct hot heat. It's not that. It just, the way they made it, it just penetrates better.
Can you elaborate more on the pulling up of our hair into a puff? You mentioned about how, our perimeter of our hair is the most fragile.
Okay, so yes, the around your perimeter is the most fragile part of your hair. The hair actually has memory. So when you're constantly pulling it in a puff, you're basically telling the hair, okay, we're not really needed around here. It communicates to each other. So it'll pop. If you pull anything too tight, it'll pop. And then if you're pulling it back, it's gonna pull back even more. I see puffs all day. Like a lot of times when ladies become natural or return natural, the puff is the go-to because they don't know anything else to do. So for starters, the puff can cause traction alopecia. And traction alopecia, I'm sure you ladies know what alopecia is. It usually starts in the crown of your hair. Sometimes it's hereditary, sometimes we cause it ourselves. Traction alopecia is one of those where you do cause yourself, and that can be either from braids too tight or puffs too tight, like just constantly pulling the hair back. So the hair has memory. Around the perimeter, your hair is the most fragile. So you just don't want to pull it. It's like just a necessary rule when it comes to styling hair. You don't want to pull this too tight. You don't want to continue pulling it back. I'm not saying don't wear puffs. Again, this is just what I feel. I've been a hairstylist for 25 years. I've seen all types of hair throughout my 25 years. So this is a suggestion that I would give, not to wear puffs all the time. Are they bad? No. Wearing them every now and again, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But if that's your go-to style for every day, you're going to soon start noticing your hair will start thinning in your temple areas. Any area where you have a pressure point, it's going to thin. That's just scientifically known. Wherever you have the pressure points, your hair will thin the most if you're causing that damage. Another thing with the puffs, it makes you want to use a lot of edge control or a lot of gel. We've heard the facts on different gels and edge controls, but it does contain, a lot of the gels and edge controls contain an ingredient in it that is definitely not good for our hair. It actually tells the cells to stop producing protein. It breaks the protein down. Our hair is protein, made of protein. If the cells are told to break it down, then it's just going to pop off. So any harsh things like that, we want to stay away from.
If like for people such as myself, I haven't worn a puff in almost basically a month now.
Okay.
I'm trying to do better.
Right.
And so what styles do you suggest, as opposed to a puff? Like what do you suggest for those of us who don't want to do puffs because we're trying to go back our edges and whatnot?
So if you do want to do a puff, use something very light, maybe like a stocking. Tear a stocking, you can't see it underneath because you have that. That's going to pull it back lightly. What I suggest to naturals is to develop a calendar monthly for your hair. Plan your hairstyles. Like if you have, some of you may plan meals, some of you may plan your vacation. Plan your hairstyles for the month. So say if you did a wash and go for the first week, your wash and go is done for that week. Go ahead and shampoo or co-wash your hair. Plan for a twist out style. Do the twist out, or before the twist out, do a slight blowout. You don't actually have to silk press it. Just blow it out to where you can manipulate it to any kind of pinup style, maybe jumbo braid, something up top. Then co-wash or shampoo. Then go into your twist out style for that week. So if you plan your styles weekly, you won't just always depend on a puff. Natural hair is work, ladies. You gotta work to look cute.
I know, because you just wake up and you roll out of bed and you're just like, puff. That's the first thing that pops in my mind. Because it's so easy to do. And sometimes, like, let's just say on my hair right now, I honestly don't like it in this state right now.
It's cute.
Well, because for one, it don't feel good and it's just.
I'm feeling. Oh, it feels good. It's so airy, light. It does.
But I'm just saying, well, I guess because for me, I feel like it tangles a lot more because it's not as stretched. Like, I like to wear my hair more in a stretched state.
Right.
So this isn't as stretched as I would like it to be.
I gotcha.
But I mean, you know, this is kind of what I've been doing lately because I'm trying not to pull it up too much. Or I'll get like a scarf and like just kind of pull it up that way. You know, kind of like the scarf little style, cute little styles. Yeah. So, but yeah, there's someone that mentioned a puff cuff. Wait, puff cuff, I think? Have you heard of that?
Puff cuff.
I don't know. I'm
Thinking
thinking
of
it's
puff cuff. What is that?
I'm guessing it's something that doesn't put as much tension on your hair if you put your hair up, but that's another one.
It's worth a try.
Yeah.
People are coming up with stuff every day, so that's how inventions come out to fix a problem.
What are the best pair of scissors to trim 4C hair?
The best pair would be your local hairstylist scissors.
Okay. All right.
I'm just saying, I am not a fan of trimming your own hair.
Okay.
Like, I'm not going to tell you ladies, I'm sorry, you're not going to get that answer from me. It's just, well, if you can go into a Cosmo Pro, if you have license, those are stores you have to have license, and they sell the scissors that will cut a piece of lint in the air, like. But, like for all things that's very intricate in a field, you have to have license to use. So we don't want you ladies at home cutting up your fingers. It took me years with a lot of little nicks. So you can't, I don't care what you guys see. You cannot pull your hair from the back and cut it correctly. Pull this out, it's not gonna happen. Like, it's just, some of you may make comments and say you've done it, which I completely applaud you. But, you know, that's one thing. If you go to your stylist once every other month, quarterly, once a month, just get a trim. So, you know, that's me. Once again, everybody is different, but I just do not suggest trim your own hair.
Right. Now, let's say that they do.
Okay.
Then what pair of scissors? Because I know it's important to make sure that, you know, the scissors aren't just like, you know, craft scissors or something like that, because it's not going to cut evenly.
Right.
I have the main choice scissors.
Okay.
It's purple. I don't know how to describe them.
Okay.
But they supposedly cut really good.
Right.
But I mean, I'm not that confident with trimming my hair, which is why I came to you. But I was like, I need to get it even and all of that.
Right.
But if I do trim, it might be in twists. How do you feel about that when
trimming twists?
You know, it's just a little. It's like not really a trim. It's like
just
dusty.
a little bitty.
Yeah.
So you have your hair twisted all around. And
yeah,
you take
twist it, and then I just pull it and see where it's thinning. And
I suggest you do that than not do anything at all.
Okay.
Yeah. I suggest you do that than not do anything at all. You're not going to get an even trim, so but that helps. But if you're doing it at home, I don't know if you guys know what pinking shears are, sewing scissors. That used to be laying around at the house. Your mom had scissors she sewed with. Do not use those. Do not use kitchen shears like you get with your cooking utensils.
Oh yeah.
Do not use those. Like, just, they have to be professional scissors. Use supply store scissors. If you have to force your hand any to open them up, they're unprofessional.
Yeah.
Real scissors, I can go like this with my thumb and they're moving just so quietly and lightly. All you hear is just a snip to those ends. Yeah. So I don't have a name of any. I can get up and look at mine. I have like 10 pair of scissors. But one thing I can tell you, if you cut your hair with dull scissors at home, then you're gonna split your hair even more than what you just cut off. So it's just gonna, you're gonna cut that bad hair off, and the hair that's left is gonna go, it's gonna split immediately.
Yeah. I just kind of wanted to comment too, because I know a lot of people have had some bad experiences at hair salons, natural hair salons, especially when you go get a trim, and it turns out to be a cut, or it just turns out to be like this big disaster. So a lot of people have been like, you know what, I'm just gonna do everything at home. I'm gonna trim on my own. So I think that's another reason why people are just like, I just want to do it myself because of their experiences.
So some stylists may get upset with me. When you visit a natural hair salon, look for a cosmetologist license. When students go to natural hair school, they're not taught how to trim. You can't trim. You're not supposed to touch scissors.
Okay.
So you may get some feedback from this. But I've been in the cosmetologist field over 25 years, like I said. when you have just a natural hair care license, which is an amazing license, I love them, I even have one, but you're not licensed to cut hair. So some may have experienced getting hair cut by somebody that just won't never taught how to cut hair. So that may be the problem. That may be the problem. But just check, make sure before anyone puts scissors in your hair that they have official cosmetology license. I'm not saying anything bad about natural hair care license. We have awesome natural hairstylists out here, but in school, it's just not a qualification to learn how to cut hair.
So this is a really good question. Is it best to cut your hair in its natural state, or like a wash and go state, or in a blown out state?
Great question. So it depends. Let's talk about the blown out state.
Okay.
We have naturals and you have straight naturals. I have a lot of clientele who have no desire to wear their curl pattern, but they have no desire to be a relaxer. So I will always trim their hair in a blown out state because that's how they wear their hair. There's the cut out here called diva cut, which you put your hair in your wash and go style and you go through and you cut each ringlet, which in turn I add, if you ladies do that, make sure you're cutting on the seed at the end, not in the middle of the seed, because that's just going to leave a half of a curl sticking out there. That's the training for the diva cut. So if you're not cutting at the end of that seed while it's wet, then you don't have diva cut, you have a hot mess. But so it just, once again, it depends on the hair. If your hair is straight, wavy, curly, you can cut it in that state.
Okay.
But when you get to the 3-4, which is the kinky coily, it's best to blow that out, because if you cut it from a wet state, you're still not seeing exactly where that end is that you need to cut, because 3 and 4, type 3-4 hair has a tendency to be more frizzy. So when you pull it out, it looks like this whole section could be frizz, but you only need to cut off that much, because our hair grows a 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch a month. So, what you're cutting off is the oldest part of your hair. It once was sitting right here on the root. So yeah, it just depends again on the texture, if you have frizz or not, if you wear your hair in a blown out state or a curly state. A lot of my clients, sometimes I will, since I have the ability to give it that pull, I can go ahead and see what needs to be cut.
Right.
So it depends on the texture and the hair's ability to absorb water. Sometimes a lot of people's hair, you wet their hair and they have low porosity hair, their cuticle layers are closed, so the water's sitting on top. So it's just frizzy. You can't tell what should be cut in that state. You definitely need to blow it out. You don't have to silk press with an iron, you just can blow it out.
Yeah. Okay. So this one, do you travel to do hair?
I do. I have and I do. It just depends.
Okay.
It depends how far, exactly what it is they need,
Yeah.
I won't travel to do like a $75 or $100 blowout. But if you had a few people there that wanted it, I would do it. So of course, ladies, if you get with your girlfriends or if you speak with your stylist and they want to do a pop-up shop, I definitely travel.
Okay, good. Yeah, because you have so many people that are like all over that are just like, oh, I wish she was here.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Can you explain more about the crown area and how you mentioned that our hair is closest?
Oh yeah.
What was it that you were saying?
So right in here is where our nerves are closest to our scalp. So this is your scalp, these are your nerves. Around your scalp, your nerves sit, about this far. And these also feed your follicle. Whatever you eat, drink, think about, it affects your follicle. But right here in your crown, the nerves are like almost touching. So if you have a stress moment, if you eat something wrong, if you're anything that affects your nerves that we do, we don't notice it, but we'll just start this. Because our nerves are like sending those vibrations to our follicles and we get an itch. Or we're thinking, and usually when we're thinking, we sit there and we do that. Or we sit here and we pull a piece of hair from the top. So that area in the crown is the first spot that'll actually start thinning if we're going to have any thinning hair or any type of alopecia. So we want to be careful with either pulling or anything that we notice we may be doing scratching a lot. If you wear puffs and you have band hair, you're digging there. So also by the nerves being closer is can easily break and pop too. So we want to be careful with our crowns, our glory, crown glory.
So how do you what do you recommend to help nurture that, especially when it's like tender to touch or sensitive or sore? Like, are there any oils or products that you recommend or what?
Okay, so I definitely recommend a product. Pure Naturals, we have a growth tonic, and it's also good to use when you need to get rid of a lot of debris in your hair. We're finding that in the salon. But the main thing with hair growth is stimulation, blood stimulation. You know, back in the day they would say, lean upside down and brush. That's causing blood flow to the hair follicle, which in turn is nourishing it with those, whatever we're feeding it, and it'll grow. So basically, kind of keep your hands out of it. Don't do any type of manipulation. Don't pull, don't scratch. The type of oils that penetrate the hair shaft would be your grapeseed oil, avocado oil, the lighter oils that actually penetrate. Avocado is kind of on the heavier side, but grapeseed it penetrates. Sesame seed oil, you may walk around smelling like a wok, stir fried rice, but sesame seed oil does wonders on our crown. Pumpkin seed oil. It's my main thing. I want to alert everybody. Please listen. Coconut oil is great to pop popcorn and to fry things in. Her Sheikah, my assistant, she tells people this all the time. Pop your popcorn and coconut oil. Give it a break on your hair. Which is a good protein oil, but I say that just to say there's so many other oils out there that will help your hair. Because coconut oil, when you're in a colder environment, it solidifies because it has not been fractionated. Most of the oils we see have been fractionated, but coconut oil, for some reason, we just gravitate towards. So just test and see which one works better. As far as essential oils, I tell people all the time, yes, I have a hair growth elixir called Rejuvenate. You ladies can check that out on my website. But I also teach you how to make your own. I won't give you my recipe, but I will teach you exactly some of the things to start out with. 3 essential oils makes a synergistic blend. So any type of synergistic blend, if you use 3 of something, it really works on your hair. And another tip, a lot of times we go crazy with the essential oils, but you have to realize only 12 drops per ounce of oil. So if you have your grapeseed here, you have rosemary, maybe lavender, maybe tea tree here. You only want to use 12 drops of those combined with 1 ounce of oil. Because if you use more, you're going to start damaging your hair and it can start breaking off. So that comes in formulating. Like, I've been formulating products now for the last 10 years scientifically, but all my life. My grandmother taught me herbs when I was 9, so I've been messing with stuff all my life. But those are the kind of things you got to know. Yes, I promote making your own products, getting stuff out the refrigerator, using, but different things like that you really have to know so you won't overuse it and use it the wrong way.
Okay.
Ladies who are pregnant, don't use lavender oil. That's a lot of things people don't know. So, you know, it's just DM me. I'll give you some information.
And I'll be sure to link her channel and her Instagram and her site in which you can contact her, so be sure to check that out.